It helps us all. Listen to me. And if you 2 seconds. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Aldermanic Affairs Committee meeting. My name is Alder Yvette Hamilton. I am Vice Chair for the committee. In the absence of our Chair, Alder Rosa Santana, you'll help me conduct this meeting. Thank you for being here. We'll start with the reading of the notice. Board of Alders notice, New Haven. The Aldermanic Affairs Committee of the Board of Alders will meet in person on Monday, September 29th, 2025 at 6 p.m. in the Board of Alders chamber located at 165 Church Street, second floor, New Haven, Connecticut, to hear and act on the following items. Item number 1, LM 2025-0471. Order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Alexandria Footy to the Commission on Disabilities. Item number 2, LM 2025-0466. Order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Eldon Hoffman to the Environmental Advisory Council. Item 3, LM 2025-0467. Order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Michelle Michi Palmer to the Environment Advisory Council. Item 4, LM 2025-0486. Order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Jenna Walt-Vogel to the Environment Advisory Council. Item 5, LM 2025-0472. Order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Peggy Moore to the Livable City Initiative Board as an alternate member. Item number 6, LM 2025-0477. Order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Jacqueline Torres Rosa to the Peace Commission. Item number 7, LM 2025-0465. Order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Nakia Dawson to the Board of Police Commissioners. Item number 8, LM 2025-0481. Order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the reappointment of Mabel Carroll to the Commission on Aging. Item number 9, LM 2025-0468. Order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the reappointment of Nicholas Colavolpe to the Commission on Aging. Item 10, LM 2025-0469. Order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the reappointment of Barbara Jackson to the Commission on Aging. Per order, Honorable Rosa Santana, Chair, attests Honorable Michael Smart, City Clerk. These items are on file and available in the Office of Legislative Services, City Hall, 165 Church Street, second floor, New Haven, Connecticut, 06511, for accommodation, for accessibility accommodations. Please call 203-946-7651 voice or 203-946-8582 TTY. Public comments/testimony may be submitted via email to publictestimony@newhavencity.gov before 2 p.m. the day of the meeting. This meeting may be viewed on the Board of Alders YouTube page. Hi. Please, the committee will start with identification, starting on the right, please.
Teresa Morant, Ward 12.
Gary Hogan, Ward 28. Yvette Hamilton, Ward 24.
Evelyn Rodriguez, Ward 4.
Thank you all for being here. The agenda starts with Ms. Footy, which is the first item, but we will put that for the last because she will be a little late to the meeting. So as a little housekeeping, if you have cell phones, we ask that you please turn them on mute or silent. Once you come to the table, we ask you to please give your name and address for the public record. And we'll start with item number 2, please, which is um, Mr. Eldon Hoffman to the Environmental Advisory Council. Is that person here? Yes, sir, right here. Please take a seat. Choose a chair. Okay. Please be seated. Your name and address, sir?
Eldon Hoffman, 167 Willard Street in New Haven.
Welcome. Thank you for being here, sir. You are being appointed to the Environmental Advisory Council, Mr. Hoffman. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself and why you want to serve on the council, sir?
Okay, I'm retired at 74. I worked for nearly 50 years for an engineering consulting firm doing environmental type work, mostly water supplies, sewer treatment. I worked on some landfills. In the latter part, I was not so much an engineer as like a technical person as I was a project manager. So the last few assignments, I worked in London for 4 years. My company was part of the management team for the build out of the 2012 Olympics. And my role was the design manager for all the public spaces. So different consultants and contractors who were building bridges, waterways, walkways, landscaping, public lighting, wayfinding, all that kind of stuff. I was overseeing them as the representative for the government. I then went to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where they were under a consent decree to rebuild their sewer system because it was consistently, at least once a month, overrunning into the streets. So we had to rebuild that to satisfy EPA. My role was I was the lead construction manager, so I oversaw all of our construction managers and inspectors over, it was about $2.5 billion with a B worth of pipelines, pump stations, renovations at the treatment plant. A lot of environmental considerations because, as you can imagine, it's Louisiana, so it was wet. A lot of wetlands, a lot of old infrastructure. We were always finding old abandoned oil pipelines with the oil still in them from little mom and pop type oil wells. And then I went from there to Fresno, California, where they were under an order by the state to stop using their wells. They had close to 300 water wells to supply the city. And they had some old water rights coming off a canal up in the mountains. And so they had to build a new water treatment plant and some major pipelines. And that total project was about $1 billion. So I was again overseeing the design teams and the contractors.
Sounds like you have a wealth of knowledge and experience.
It's been fun.
So, you're a New Haven resident now?
Yes,
How long have you been in the town?
about 5 years.
Okay, and what drew you to our environmental agency? How'd you find out about us?
I was at a picnic at my son's house, who lives right next door to me.
Okay.
And Adam Marchant was there. And he mentioned that they had some openings on environmental committee
Okay.
and that he thought that I might be a good fit.
Wonderful. Now, did Adam also, Aldermanic also give you any overview as to when they meet and or times and, stuff like
I
that?
looked it up after you mentioned that, yeah.
Okay, okay. And do you think you'd be available to, join the meeting if you are approved, sir?
I think so, yeah, Wednesdays. My schedule right now is pretty much defined by when I have doctor appointments.
Sounds like you need a little something to occupy those other times.
Yeah.
All righty. Committee, any, questions for, Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
Madam Chair, I'm always interested in one story. I see that after leaving Oregon State, 30 some odd years later, you went to Harvard Law School for negotiations. What was that?
That was that was a seminar that they ran out there, so it was like a 4-day course. I didn't move up there to attend Harvard, but it was a seminar on negotiating tactics and how to get to yes and how to compromise intelligently and find winning strategies for getting what you need and not necessarily what you want.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Any other questions?
No, thank you, Madam Chair.
Any other questions from the committee? Yes, go ahead. Oh, my apologies. Let me, before we continue, recognize Alder Adam Marchand that has joined us.
If I could ask one thing,
Yes, ma'am.
I
Sorry.
go by my middle name. Is it possible to somehow get in the record so that I'm referred to as Randy, Randy?
Okay. Well, so noted. So you prefer instead of Eldon, Randy?
Yes.
Okay. So noted, Randy. Okay. Alder Rodriguez, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. Good evening.
Good evening.
It's a pleasure to have you here with us. Have you met with our city engineer by any chance?
No, I have not.
Okay. And have you been able to attend any of the meetings?
Of the environmental,
Yes.
no, I have not.
Okay. You did mention that through Alder Marchand, you became aware of the Environmental Commission. You know that in New Haven, there's a lot of things happening regarding environment.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people coming into the city, a lot of development, a lot of important projects. And I see that you have a wealth of experience with many other areas. In reference to urbanization, how do you feel that the work that you have done can be supportive to the work that we're doing in New Haven in terms of the increased population and all the changes in development?
Mm-hmm. I think that in the last several projects I was involved in, a lot of my job was figuring out how to find compromise between people who were very adamant about what they wanted to see for their environment, for their neighborhoods, and to find ways to develop the public projects, but in a way that people can live with, learn to live with. Not that they have to, just put up with it, but to actually enjoy what the city can provide to them. So I think there's ways of designing spaces so that they're more comfortable for people. If I can maybe just give a little bit of background on one thing that I found really fascinating. When I worked in London on the Olympic Park, there was a lot of promises made to the Olympic organization on how the build out of the park would consider all kinds of several different priority concerns like accessibility, environmental concerns. That the area that we turn into a park had been an industrial site for about 400 years. So there was a lot of old industrial waste there. There had been some munitions plants, so the Germans had been quite interested in trying to eliminate them. So we were always finding unexploded ordnance out there, bombs that didn't go off. And so how do you make that site safe for people? There were, because of some historic neglect, there were a lot of, there was a large group of travelers, probably about 400 people who lived in that site, camped there. Travelers are, like we were thinking, gypsies, itinerant type people. And how to convince them to move out without starting a war and finding a place for them to go that was actually safer for them. Designing public spaces to be safe. I learned a lot. It wasn't me who had the expertise, but it was me who had to work with the people who had the expertise to determine how to apply what they knew and to balance that with what other groups might want. Some of it was, one thing I learned that was pretty fascinating is I thought to make the park safe, my first thought was we need to light it all up so there's no dark spaces. But they were telling me, no, we need to decide where do we not want people to go at night. And we unlike those places, don't like those others. And so if people are coming to go to an event at one of the venues that was on the park, say a basketball game, we would light the pathways that would go there, but not the rest of the park.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's a conversation going on in our city right now regarding the infamous English station that we have. I don't know if you're aware of that.
I just heard about it.
Okay, I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Randy.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Pleasure.
Randy, I would love to hear more of your stories about the transformation at some point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love to talk about it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not tonight, we don't live it.
No.
I'd love to hear this.
Go to a coffee bar or
Yeah,
Thank you,
a
sir.
parlor or something.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
Have a good evening. Thank you, sir. We will take the public testimony at the end. Moving on our agenda, we'll be passing over item number 3. So, moving on to item number 4, which is the appointment of Jenna Walt Vogel to the Environment Advisory Council. Is Jenna here? Come on up. Did I butcher your name?
No, it's pretty good.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Sit down, name and address.
I know it's a rough one.
Please.
So my name is Jenna Waldvogel, and I live at 67 Warren Street, number 3 in Haven.
Good evening, Jenna.
Good
Thank you
evening.
for being here. Just give me a little background about yourself and why you want to be part of the Environmental Advisory Council, please.
Sure. I kind of have a varied background, but I started my education at University of Vermont and did environmental science and chemistry, so I was really into the environment from kind of the beginning. Then I ended up teaching chemistry and environmental science at Hartford Public, so I was there for about 4 years. Went to grad school at Carnegie Mellon to study civil and environmental engineering, and then after that moved out to New Mexico and worked at Los Alamos National Lab, and that's currently where I'm working at. So now I'm a remote worker, which is fun.
Yes.
So I was out there, I've kind of done a little bit of everything. So I started as an engineer and then kind of similar moved into project management, management of our sustainability program out there. And then right now I'm doing our long-term planning for our utilities and transportation.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
Interesting. Committee, any questions? Thank you. I'm good. Yes, sir. Okay. Do you know when the committee meets?
Yeah, so I've heard that the committee meets on Wednesdays. And one of the reasons I I have to answer this part. One of the reasons I'm interested in wanting to serve on the committee. So when I lived in Santa Fe, I was on our kind of similar committee. So it was the open space parks committee out there. And we did a lot of stuff with the environment and within kind of the county, Santa Fe County. And it was really great to serve on that committee and hear about a lot of different issues that were happening within the county. And then to also have that feedback. I think a lot of times some of these committees don't have a ton of young people on them. And I thought it was really great to like get involved in local politics and kind of hear about what's going on and make an impact and kind of get more voices out there. So it's kind of funny because that committee met it on Wednesdays too. So I'm like, oh, I'll just switch and go to the next one.
Okay, cool. That sounds pretty good. Alderman, did you have a question?
I do. I was reading, and I'm sorry I wasn't asked this earlier, coming from the Midwest and then coming to New England.
Yeah.
There's a vast difference in environmental issues.
Yes.
How are you going to use that experience in that, you have a lot of open space in New Mexico and here where
yeah, not so
rivers,
much.
trees,
Yeah.
more politics. So how do you see the difference and what impact you think you could have?
Yeah, I think it is going to be very different. Like you said, kind of the main thing we did out there was we worked on a lot of like land acquisition for the county from different private parties. So that was very different. But we also did things with like bike paths and electric bike ordinances and things like that. So there were some things that I think were a little more city, but not really. I'm from Brantford originally, so I know New Haven pretty well. Back here to hang out with family,
Right.
do all that. But yeah, I think a lot of my experience out there, especially at Los Alamos now working on planning, even though our site is very large, a lot of the planning is happening in a very condensed area. So it's definitely learning how to manage expectations with different people, also dealing with, different priorities and which one comes first, and also having public safety involved. So I think there's while a lot of my experience is in the Southwest, I do know I'm a New Englander at heart, so. Yeah.
One more question, Madam Chair.
Yeah.
How did you learn about this committee?
Yeah, so I really enjoyed my work in Santa Fe and being on that county commission. So pretty much as soon as I moved here, I was like, all right, let's see which commissions are around in New Haven, and found this one and was like, that seems to fit what I want to do. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yeah, and also too, my education background is both from this area. So I think I have to go back a little bit. Yeah.
Any other questions, committee?
Good.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Appreciate your time.
Thank you for being here. Moving on to item 5, the appointment of Peggy Moore to the Livable City Initiative. Miss Peggy, are you here? Come on. Good evening. Can we just have your name and address for the record,
Sure.
please?
I'm Peggy Moore. My address is 90 Stevenson Road, New Haven.
Welcome. Thank you for being here. Just give us a little background on why you want to serve.
Okay, I have been a New Haven educator for 40 years. Retired. To be very honest with you, I'm used to being involved. I'm used to working with people. I'm used to working with children and families. And so, even though I've been retired for a while, I've been coming back working in schools. This year, I'm not doing that. So I need to do something.
So what do you know about LCI and, what they do? Do you know anything about your department?
I know a little bit,
Okay.
but I'm always willing to learn. I'm a lifetime learner. I know that you're involved, Livable Cities is involved with working with landlords.
Mhm.
looking at properties and making sure that they are maintained, making sure that all the things that people need to have a comfortable life are in place. And I think that's just a nice way to put it, because we can nitpick and say this, and this is important, but they're all important when we put them together.
Do you have any idea when the meetings will be held? Have you been able to look at the meeting times?
I saw that it was on the fourth Wednesday of each month at 6 p.m.
And you'll be available if you're appointed,
Sure.
available?
Mhm.
Excellent. Any questions, Camille?
See, she's giving me the look already. Alder Hogan now has a question.
All right, wait, Alder, Rob, oh, go ahead, Alder. Go ahead.
Mrs. Moore purports to knows more about LCI than she's reported. So I really don't have a question, but it's great to see you
It's
again.
good to see you.
It's a very big resume.
I'm very familiar with Mrs. Moore.
Okay, excellent. Alder, Evan?
Yes, thank you for your interest.
Thank you.
And Mableville City's initiative, the commission also addresses land dispositions.
Mhm.
So it's a lot of that. There's over 57 different commissions. And I see that your background is, like you had shared, in teaching, education, just so that you are aware that there are other commissions you may, in the long run, if you see that it's not a good match.
Okay.
It's good that you're interested, and we're interested that you're interested. But just so that you're aware, we have a number of other commissions that may be a better match for you.
Sure.
Just wanted to give you that information. How did you choose this commission in comparison to other
I'm on the
commissions?
ward committee for Ward 26 with Amy.
Okay,
And I was at a meeting and I was talking with the mayor and he said, he said, what are you doing? And I'm like, nothing. And he says, we have to get you involved because
Okay.
I've known him for a long time since I was principal at Wilbercross. So we go way back.
I have a
So,
sister who was assistant principal.
I
at
know,
Wilbercross. Yes, thank you.
so, so he was just saying, I think this might be a good fit for you. Because I said, I don't really know a lot about all of the boards.
Mhm.
And he said, this might be a good fit for you. Like I said, I'm a good learner.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Do you have a question?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair.
Correct.
Miss Peggy Moore,
Mhm.
let's get into this resume right quick and how beautiful this is.
Yes, it is
As
nice.
beautiful as you are.
Thank you.
You're a
I
very
liked it,
sharp lady. I'm looking at your professional experience. I am super proud. Super, super proud of everything that you have accomplished.
Thank you. And I want you to know that the second year I was retired, I
Mhm.
went to Bridgeport for a year. And then I said, why am I supporting Bridgeport? I have to go
Right.
back home.
Thank you for coming back up. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Moving on our agenda, we'll pass over item number 6 and on to item number 7, which is Ms. Nakia Dawson to the Board of Police Commission. Name and address for the record, please.
Nakia Dawson Douglas. And 84 Howard Street in Haven.
All right, welcome. How are you?
Thank you. I'm well, thank you.
I'm gonna let you talk about yourself.
Yes, we'll let you talk.
Yeah, go right ahead.
All right, I am a founder and president of Bereavement Care Network, which we cater to families of homicide due to gun violence in the city of New Haven. We started that in 2013, but prior to that, I was a part of another organization surrounded by gun violence as well. I also work at palliative care at Smile. So as you can see, kind of deaf, but it can be a good thing, as far as me working with bereavement care, I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot from both sides, from the police aspect and also the families. So, yeah, so that's what I do. I'm a wife, I'm a mother of two, a 5-year-old and also a 17-year-old, pray for me, who's a senior. So what I did do when I was pregnant with my 5-year-old, I resigned from a lot of just organizations, the Peace Commission, the Amistad Committee, because when I'm committed to one thing, I'm committed to it. A lot of people, just want their name on a lot of things, and just to have a notch under their belt, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to actually do the work. So now I have time to do the work because she's older.
Any questions from the committee for Nikki?
I would be real remiss if I didn't have a question for Mrs. Douglas here.
Go ahead. So, Alderman.
Are you still involved with the Peace Commission?
I am not.
Okay. I saw that you were former chair. And many of these, you're no longer.
I'm not involved in anything but church and bereavement care.
So the police commissioners will be a fit because it will take.
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you, Mrs. Douglas.
Go ahead, Alderman. Okay.
This is kind of like a sensitive question. You've been through a lot,
Absolutely.
and you know both sides, as you shared in your written documentation. Do you think that you will be able to have be able to make global decisions, concrete decisions, not one side or another, in this work that you're going to be doing as police commissioner?
I do it now. And when I say I do it now, I have families that actually come into our office, and they are, every family's different. So you may have a family that cannot stand the police department. You may have a family that praises the police department. And I let them know, either way, I'm not biased. They know that we receive their information from the police, so they know that we work hand in hand with them. And, to answer that question, I will be okay. I'll be okay, absolutely.
So in terms of your work in bereavement,
Yes,
and it's tremendous work
thank you.
of families
Mhm.
and loved ones who have lost to violence, to guns, to crime. You're stating that there be no conflict of interest in your moving in that direction should you need to do so, whereas a commissioner, you would stand on whatever side is.
Yes, and I think for me, looking into this, being approached by Chief Jacobson, because I was just floored when he approached me, because I didn't see this coming at all. But thinking about it, and the more and more I thought about it, and I talked to, my pastor, my husband, just talk to people about it, I see, you know what, I know both sides. So because I know both sides, and I hear them out now, all officers are not right. That's one thing. I'm going to stand on that. You have some officers that are completely 100% correct, but then you have officers that are not. And if you're not, you need to be punished, and what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. So if I hear a family, say, oh, officer such and such, I just listen, because right now I'm on both sides, and I will continue to be on both sides, but I will let them know, well, you know what, I think you need to have a phone call with Chief Jacobson, or have a phone call with Officer Nikki Curry, because I am on both sides, but I'm not on your side or their side. I know both sides, if that can, answer your question.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
And I have one more question, Chair. You know about our Civilian Review Board, right?
Yes.
And you know the role that the Police Commission plays in its entering in terms of the different groups that have to work with the Civilian Review Board. How do you feel about that relationship between the commission and the Civilian Review Board?
I think that it's there for a reason. I think that it works. It definitely works. I didn't look too much into the Civilian Review Board, but I do think that it works from what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Any other questions? I have a comment, I have a question.
All right.
Nikki, if I covered this right here, I would still know who you are, because the work that you do speaks for you. Your name is in the ears of people, and you do a wonderful, wonderful work for the city of New Haven and for the hearts of the people.
Thank you.
That's it.
All right, any other
I'm good.
comments?
I'm good.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Moving on our agenda, the last item we're doubling back to item number 1, which is the appointment of Alexandria Footy to the Commission on Disabilities. Come on up. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for being here. And when you get settled, you can give us your name and address for the record, please.
Sure. My name is Allie Fuddy, and I live at 50 Woodward Avenue, New Haven, Connecticut.
Thank you for being here. And can you just give us a little background on why you would like to serve on the Commission on Disabilities, please?
Sure. So I am newer to New Haven. I moved here last August, so I've been here for a little over a year. Previously, I lived in Burlington, Vermont, where I served on the city's, they call it the Committee on Disabilities there. And so I really appreciated that experience. I have a kind of, I guess, civically minded heart, and it was a way that I could support my community from my area of expertise, and so was interested in doing the same here in New Haven. I am a homeowner in the East Shore neighborhood of New Haven. I am a person with a disability, so I'm legally blind from a visual impairment. And in addition to that, I have, that's my kind of professional expertise area. So before moving to New Haven, for 10 years, I'm a licensed teacher of visually impaired, so I work with kids who are blind and visually impaired, and hold some other certifications in that area. And now I'm the program manager for the Northeast Resource Center for Vision Education at the University of Massachusetts, Boston, which serves as the regional program for professionals in the field of visual impairment. So like all the people who serve, for the most part, all the people who serve people who are blind and visually impaired in the state of Connecticut come through our UMass Boston program because it's the only program in the region. So we have sort of a regional partnership. I'm also currently getting my PhD, which is why I really appreciate that you extended me this kindness to let me go last, because I was across the hall in a class. I'm getting my PhD currently in global inclusion and social development with kind of a focus area in inclusion, like from a global perspective of individuals with disability. So I guess to boil that all down into one small statement, I would just say, like, I'm a person with lived experience of disability who has a professional expertise area in disability. I love the communities in which I reside and want to contribute if I can.
Sounds wonderful. You have a wealth of knowledge and experience. It would be a plus if that for the commission. Do you know when they actually meet and the times, and are you available during those times?
Yes, so they meet on Mondays, and I have been to one meeting. I attended one meeting first just to make sure that it felt like a good fit for me and something I could commit to. I currently, this semester, it does not align with my class schedule. So that will extend until December. However, I've spoken to Gretchen, who's the ADA coordinator who sort of oversees that commission, and she's indicated to me that there is an interest possibly within the commission to change the meeting day. Like everybody else seems to have some flexibility and is open to having me be a part of it. So that was a part of the conversation. But absolute worst case scenario, like I would be able to begin attending the meetings the second week of December.
Okay. Any questions from you?
Good evening, thank you for coming in. I'm in awe that you said you were in a class across the hallway, and then you said the name of the class, and could you repeat it again, please?
Well, so I'm getting my PhD in global inclusion and social development.
Okay.
But my class I was just in was called the history of development.
Gotcha.
So it's like the origins of development.
My thought process, what I heard was that there's global inclusion for disabilities, and I was wondering what that conversation would be, but you answered that, thank you.
Okay.
Good.
Thank
Any
you,
other
Madam Chair.
questions? No question. Oh. Go ahead. Thank you, Madam Chair. No question, as usual comment.
Yeah.
Just let you know, you are such an inspiration to anyone that says something can't be done.
Thank you.
Because you are a true example, just looking at your extensive resume and all that you do, to anyone that says you can't do something.
Thanks.
Because you're doing it with a disability, and you're doing it well. So thank you so much for what you do.
I appreciate that.
That's it.
I'm good.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I understand that you were a commissioner on disabilities in Vermont.
Mhm.
For how long were you?
I guess it probably would have been about 2.5 years.
And how, was there any a decision or anything that you supported that was helpful in terms of the city and disabilities?
Yes. So something that was unique about the, what I'll just call the Commission for Disability is the version of it that was in Burlington, Vermont, is that the mayor extended a certain budget to the commission every year. And so it allowed us to engage in projects or support projects that brought public good around disability. So there were a few of those projects that they often became sort of public-private partnerships to benefit community access spaces. So for example, we worked closely with an organization to install, if you've ever been to Burlington, there's beautiful Lake Champlain is there, and there's a really nice waterfront park. And we installed a tactile map of the whole waterfront park at that space. So somebody who was blind or visually impaired or deafblind could come and tactily feel the map, showed like where the bike path was and where like all the little things that somebody might want to visit along the bike path along the waterfront was. So that was a great project I was involved in. We also focused on things like providing funds to it's not that the library didn't have its own budget, but the library would be so constrained within its own budget that we were able to step in situations like providing adult changing tables within the library, so that if somebody wanted to visit the library with a teen or adult who needed like high levels of support with their toileting, that person, it's a big barrier for families, right? They might want to bring a teen child to the library if they've got younger kids, but where are we going to change, the diaper of this person? Like, are we going to have to lay them out on the public bathroom floor? Like, just all those hidden things you don't think about when when you don't have an individual with a disability in your family. So, those were some examples of projects I was involved in that I think brought real public good to the community.
Thank you. Thank you for your interest. And thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
We're on.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Good luck in your studies.
Thank you, I really appreciate it.
At this time, items 7, 8, and 9 they are not required to attend. So if there's anyone from the public that would like to speak on any of the items that were presented this evening, please come forward. Anyone from the public that would like to speak on any of the items presented this evening? The second time. And for the third time, is there anyone from the public that would like to speak on any of the items heard this evening? Hearing none.
Madam Chair, I move that we close the public portion of this hearing.
Second.
Heard and seconded. Any discussion on closing the public portion? So moved. The public portion is closed.
All those in favor?
Oh, I'm sorry. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Now the public portion is closed. Starting with item number 1.
Madam
Move
Chair,
item number 1, Madam Chair.
second.
Item has been moved and second. Discussion on item number 1. Ms. Alexandria Footy to the Commission on Disabilities.
Madam Chair, I found Ms. Fuddy to be very knowledgeable about disabilities. I was in awe of her educational experience, her professional experience, and I would recommend she would be an asset to the disability commission.
Any other discussion? So all in favor of moving Ms. Alexandria Footy's name forward favorably to the Commission on Disabilities? All in favor?
Say aye. Aye.
Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The item passed favorably.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move items 2 and 4. Order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointments of Eldon Hoffman and of Gina Waldvogel to the Environmental Advisory Council.
Second.
Item has been moved and seconded. Discussion?
Madam Chair, the appointment of Hoffman seems to have a wealth of experience in the field of environment and has demonstrated great interest in participating in the commission and contributing. And in reference to Jenna Waldvogel, she too has demonstrated great interest in supporting and working in the Commission of Environmental Advisory Commission.
Any other discussion?
I would love to add to that Randy, as he preferred to be called,
Yes.
and Miss Jenna have a vastly different approach to an environment. I think that they, with their different views, will be a great asset to the Environmental Advisory Council, both by their different experiences. I don't mean to bring up their age differences because they come from different perspectives, and their educational backgrounds.
I definitely agree. Any other discussion? All in favor of items 2 and 4 moving forward?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item passed.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move item 5, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Peggy Moore to the Livable Cities Initiative Board as an alternate member.
Is there a second?
Second, I'm sorry. Second.
Item has been moved and second. Discussion?
I've known the Moore family for quite some time, and Miss Moore, Mr. and Mrs. Moore were recipients of a civil partial many years ago. I'm dating myself, that goes back to the 80s. While her experiences in education, I can't say it, she's like an aunt to me. I can't say it to her, but I would have liked to have seen her more in an educational role with all the experiences she's had as a principal and educator. To go into the LCI board as an alternate member, which means in having sat in the LCI board meeting last week, they do need some assistance. But I'll move this along until we can find another position for her. But Mrs. Moore is a New Haven legend and asset when it comes to the Department of Education.
Right. I can see where she would be well served in some capacity within the education landscape, most definitely. Any other discussion?
Madam Chair, I concur with my colleague. Because I'm a little concerned, but at the same time, Ms. Moore has said yes to the Livable Cities Initiative opportunity to be on the commission. And so in lieu of, I would like that if we can give her the opportunity, who's to say what we will probably then see from a Livable Cities Initiative with her on it. So Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay. So, all in favor of moving, Miss Peggy Moore, forward positively, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item passes. We're moving over, passing over item 7. Item number
Number
8.
7.
Seven.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move item 7, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Nakia Dawson to the Board of Police Commissioner.
Item has been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Item has been moved and second. Discussion, please, on Ms. Nakia Dawson, the police commissioner.
Madam Chair, Ms. Dawson has demonstrated great interest. She has a background where she has become fully aware of many, and she has done great work, a lot of work in reference to guns, violence, families. She has worked with the police department, different facets, all different types of organizations and support services through the work that she has done. I personally know this myself. I would like to see Ms. Dawson be able to have the opportunity to engage in our Board of Police Commission. Additionally, she did make reference to the fact that the Chief of Police actually recommended that she consider this appointment. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Any other discussion?
I'd like to add to my colleagues' comments that having Mrs. Douglas join the board brings a different perspective to and a different outlook on policing and policing governance. So I am in full support, and I've known Mrs. Douglas for quite some time and watched her development and how she navigated through the struggles of gun violence with families. So I think that brings a really strong asset to the group, to the commission, I'm sorry.
Alderman.
Madam Chair, I do have one more comment that I think is important to indicate that in reference to exploring whether it would be a conflict of interest and that she is the person who is in charge of the bereavement. I'm sorry?
The Bereavement Care Network.
The Bereavement Care Network, that could she be neutral and represent all parties fairly? I believe that she answered this question carefully and effectively, and that she would indeed take the place that is significant to represent everyone fairly. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Well, I'm also in support of Mrs. Douglas. I am familiar with her work. She's a dedicated, hard, Dawson Douglas, correct?
Yes.
You're right. Yes, she is a hard worker. I remember when the Bereavement Care Network was formed. She's been in the trenches for a long time, and I think she would be an asset to the police commission, myself. So yes, hearing no further discussion, we will move Mrs. Nakia Dawson Douglas favorably to the police commission, the Board of Police Commissioners.
Aye. Agree.
All right.
All those in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item passes.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move items 8, 9, and 10. Order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the reappointments to the Commission on Aging of Mabel Carroll, of Nicholas Calavolpi, and of Barbara Jackson.
Is there a second?
Second.
These items are moved and seconded. As these members are reappointments, have over 88% attendance, they are not required to be here this evening. Is there, Mr. Lucas, do we do anything different or just move them forward? What is it?
No, keep going.
Yeah.
Just vote.
Discussion.
Vote.
Any discussion on these 3 reappointees?
Madam Chair, I believe that the staff of the legislative body of the board of the city, of the Board of Alders, does also explore whether they are in good participation, and that all of these individuals seem to be in good participation. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Excellent. So, hearing no other discussions on these three items, all in favor of moving them forward, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The items are moved on favorably, items 8, 9, and 10.
Madam Chair, I ask that we adjourn this meeting.
Second.
Discussion and adjourn.
Well, shouldn't we say just a little one?
Hearing none.
Here he does, yeah.
All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? We are adjourned. Thank you.
You can run the meeting anytime you want. We're out in an hour.
Wait. What?
Here we go.